Hey everyone, so I've been wanting to put out an intro to Canadian MJ video just with some basics and some introduction to the companies and things like that. And I'm going to be pretty busy the next 2 weeks, and it's just information that I want to make sure is out there. This is a video that I made back in mid-June, and I sent it to friends and family that were interested in the sector, did not know very much about stocks, trading, anything like that at all. So this is just the basic information that I gave them in terms of giving them the ability to explore the Canadian MJ sector. So here we go. Hello friends, looking at the Canadian MJ sector and just going to give some information here. It's a little thrown together. I'm busier than I've ever been in my life, but I do all of this for my job, for my company with the Chart Guys, for a couple hundred members, and I figure if I'm doing this already and I have the information, might as well share it with everybody I love, all my friends and family. So that's the game plan, and happy to answer any questions. If you do respond to this email group, please just respond to me specifically and not everybody as a whole. And we'll stay on the same page because nothing's more fun than making money with friends. So I think this is a significant financial opportunity. As many of you know, Canada is legalizing recreational marijuana federally, and it's a much different scenario, a much different political landscape than the U.S. has, which is so many conflicting laws and federal and state and all of that BS that doesn't exist up in Canada. It is legalized. They are in the process of coming up with the regulations, and then in 2018 they're going to be implementing it. So the doors haven't even opened for sales yet, and this is really the ground floor as to what I believe is going to be, you know, a 1 to 10 year time horizon. And the longer term that you're leaving your money in, the less risk there is, in the sense that the shorter term, the fluctuations are going to be, you know, more present. Whereas if you're looking 3 years out from now, there's very little doubt in my mind that all of these stocks will appreciate in value over that time, because again, these prices of these stocks are anticipating the future. That is what they look towards, and the growth that does occur. But once it is really happening and the financials come out and we see, you know, revenue going up X% year over year, that's when it really is going to start to take hold, and it is going to be an easy way to make money, in my opinion. So I'll go over just some of these companies and some of these tickers. Everybody on this email list is going to be at different levels in terms of knowledge of trading and investing. And this is an investment. This is not, you know, it's a multiple year trade, but we'll call it an investment. But if you want to buy stocks, you need to have a broker, either Fidelity, E-Trade, things like that. I've used Fidelity for 7 years. I have no complaints with them. So just an easy suggestion. That's who I would suggest. And you link your bank account to it and you fund it, and then you can buy stocks and you hold it. So for Canadian MJ, there are a bunch of companies out there, and there's some clear leaders in the space. And with these tickers, these are the tickers which you type in and find the information about the company. But these are listed on the Canadian exchange, and the .to is the Toronto exchange, and the .v is a different Canadian exchange. But these companies are dual listed, and that means that they do have tickers on the U.S. exchanges as well. So rather than having to convert, you know, currency to Canadian dollars and then buy it that way, you can just buy these equivalent tickers. It's of the same company, and the stock price of the U.S. ticker will directly correlate to what is going on in the Canadian ticker. So the easy way is to do these U.S. tickers. And the three companies that I'm most interested in, it's actually two companies and an ETF. So WEED, W-E-E-D, is the big boy in the space. It is the leader, and it's already bought out one of its biggest competitors. MT was the name of that company that it bought out back just this past fall. And it is positioning itself to be the leader of the space. That being said, that has caused it to see the most increase in market cap, and the market cap is the value of the company. It's the amount of shares the company has times the price of those shares. So it is being priced in that it is the leader in the space, and we'll see what acquisitions occur from here on out and how big these companies get. But one thing that I want to point out, and I'll go over it in just a moment with one of the risks, but the regulations of this space, the rules have not all been released yet. So there are different risks in the sense there. I'll go over that in just a little bit, but there is still some unknown with just how it is going to be regulated. But we do know it's going to be legal, and we do know that these companies are positioned. These companies are licensed producers already, so that means that they have been growing marijuana. They're already established, and they've been growing it for medical reasons, for the medical market. So once the green light is given for recreational, they just have to open, their doors are already open, their product is already there, it's already on the shelves, and they're really just going to hit the ground running, with their target market just being expanded by see hundreds of percent just going from medical to recreational. And the other bonus in that is that the government has already gone through all of these inspections and made sure everything's up to code. And that's how you get the licensed producer status, by going through that process. And they've already done that. And some of them haven't. Some of the higher risk, high reward names down here that I've listed have not yet. But the ones that I'm going to be suggesting already have, and that hurdle is out of the way. So the companies that I'm suggesting are Weed, the big boy that I just talked about, already bought its competition. APH is another main name in the space, and the way that the chart has been performing is actually a little bit better than Weed. But those are the two companies that I personally am going to be investing in. And I just want to get this out of the way. I am not licensed to give any kind of recommendations or information, and basically this is all for entertainment purposes only, blah, blah, blah. Don't sue me. So those are the two companies that I'm going to be investing in. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do and give you information that you can explore on your own. And by all means, get on Google, look up these companies, check things out, get a little bit better understanding yourself rather than just going in blind and being uncomfortable. So the third here is HMMJ. That is an ETF, and an ETF is a bundle of stocks. And I'm going to put a link in the email that tells you just exactly what stocks make up this instrument, this ETF. But this is the diversified, least risk way to play this sector, just because you're exposed to a bunch of different companies and only have to make one purchase to have a basket of those shares. And it's definitely worth looking into. I'm going to be putting money here as well for that reason. These are the three that I'm going to personally be getting into. And I'm going to be going in pretty heavy. That being said, I'm young and single and I can afford to lose money. I'm going to be going in heavy and looking to make some really nice gains in the next 1 to 3 years. And again, you could hold this for 10 years, and it's obviously this space isn't going anywhere. Marijuana is not going anywhere, and we're only going to look for it to gain in value over that time. So those are the three that I'm interested in. These are their tickers for the U.S. exchanges, and these are other companies that you can check out if you want to look into some other higher risk, higher reward plays. ACB, EMC, CMED. So check those out as well if you're looking for other plays. There's a bunch out there, and there's only going to be more. There's going to be more IPOs, but these are the original names. These are the ones that are established, and these are the ones that are positioned the best to succeed in this current point in time. So that all sounds great. It sounds like easy money, and it is easy money in my opinion, but there are some risks, and some risks, maybe the political party changes in Canada, and I'm personally, admittedly, not very in tune with the political system in Canada and the way things are going up there, but my business partner is Canadian. I have a lot of Canadian interaction, so definitely keeping a tap on things with regard to politics. But, you know, if the party were to change and they were to come in and withdraw all these laws and completely turn things around conservatively, that is a risk that could potentially happen years down the road. I certainly don't foresee that happening, but it is a risk. There are also the details of the regulation that I was talking about. How much can people grow? If people can grow, 20 plants on their own, that's going to limit the amount of profit that these companies can see, because people will grow their own and trade with their friends and do all that. So, if there was a limit of maybe 3 plants per person, or you can't grow on your own, things like that would benefit these companies. And that's definitely something to be keeping an eye on as well. Can these licensed producers, can they advertise on TV? What are the restrictions in that regard? Are they going to be able to put, billboards and magazine advertisements, or is that going to be curbed because it is viewed as, a substance that can be potentially abused by kids, or whatever the reason may be? That's something to keep an eye on. How are the edibles going to be regulated? Can they sell edibles? Obviously, the competition in the space with other companies that could be taking market share away, and obviously the global economic situation. So if, something like 2008 were to happen again and the global economy crashes, this sector is going to be subject to that as well. So those are all risks to keep in mind. And with my strategy, I'm very, very active in the stock market, and I'm always watching what's going on. But I'm going to be establishing my game plan before I ever enter the trade. And what that game plan is the time frame that I want to hold, the entry price that I'm looking for, and an exit price, a stop loss level, where if it hits this price, I sell everything and I get all cash back, and I take a step back and reassess the situation. Because the last thing you want to do is enter a position and then just have it keep going down, and you're stuck in it and you're wondering, should I sell or what? By having a stop loss level where you say, if it hits this level, I will exit and I will have this many dollars left. You'll know exactly how much risk you have on the table if you have your stop loss level set. And personally in this space right now, I want to get clear that I'm not ready to enter this space yet. These charts are still in a downtrend. Let's go over the charts real quick. So this is WEED, the big boy in the space. And this is what happened back last fall, where the space exploded and it was insane. Money was growing on trees. So there, back in July, it was under $3. And then in November, so that's 4 months later, it was up at $17. So that's what, a 500% gain in 4 months. My conservative estimate for when I'm ready and when I give my green light for an entry, I'm looking for 50% in less than 2 years. And I think that timeline is pretty generous. I think it's going to be sooner than that, but that is just a rough estimate of what I would give. And after seeing it go 500%, obviously that's very significant. But that was an unsustainable move. There was a ton of hype. It was a little bubble, and so many people bought in, and then it reached the top, and then there was nobody left to buy, and everybody just wanted to sell their shares. And because legalization, everybody knows the doors aren't opening until 2018, we have 6 months to go here, and there's not many catalysts in the short term that are going to entice a lot of buying. There's going to be slow and steady buying as we approach the fall and the winter. And I am going to, the closer we get to 2018, the more prone I'm going to be to buy in. But I also want to see things level out here. So we saw that 500% move, and we hit over $17. And then for the past 6 months, we've been pulling back and consolidating. And these are all red weeks. And there's a lot of people losing money here, losing their profits because they're just holding on long. And I do like the timing of this. And this is why I'm being so active. Usually I don't tell people. I don't, like to get involved with friends and family and money and have that responsibility on my shoulders. But the amount that we've consolidated after that move makes me believe that we are in a really good opportunity to get in after we form a base and to be looking for really to have the momentum in our favor for the bulls to be profitable very early into our entry in the position as we head into 2018. That's what I'm looking for it to happen. So still consolidating, not ready yet. We went from 17, the low of 2 weeks ago was down at 658. So we've pulled back over 50%, which is why I'm really liking this opportunity. We've consolidated. Everybody that has wanted to sell has been selling, and we are just waiting for a base of support. I need a little bit more confidence that our low has been set and that we're going to be getting ready. And again, I make videos in this space on my YouTube channel. I'll link the YouTube channel, and you can check in every weekend is when I do those videos. And it's just a check-in really with these main companies, with the charts and what's going on. And I will, raise the alarm loud and clear when I personally am comfortable making an entry in the position. I will share where my stop loss levels are going to be, exactly how much risk I will take on with those stop loss levels. And again, my target is 50% within the first 2 years, and I think that is a very generous time frame. So that's what we've got. Feel free to ask any individual questions. Again, please just reply to me so everybody's not getting all these emails, and I will keep everybody up to date when things change. And as of right now, it's just a patient game and just being cautious and watching for the momentum to shift. So thanks for checking it out. Thanks for watching, and I will be back in touch soon.